Oh, actually, no. They've won 5 out of their last 6 games on Anubis. Sorry for that. They've beaten Aim Club twice. They've beaten a Danish team that goes by the name of HYPERSPIRIT. They've beaten Eternal Fire, which was a good win, a 13-11 in ESO Challenger, and then a 13-9 against Ecstatic on LAN. Their only loss in their last 6 games on Anubis was against the Gentlemates, and that was on LAN in Bucharest as well, the BC Game Masters Championship. So not a map that these guys have not played a lot of lately, not a map that they should be too unfamiliar with, and not a map on which we're expecting them to struggle too much. But hey, bond1e have been surprising so far in this event. Maybe there's going to be another one today.
See. We're on the way. We're live and closer. Dron here has the potential for a few. Gets the first and actually will just force away the pack. They cancel immediately. Magila gets one on the tail end as they were being suffocated in a little bit there towards main. They tried to cancel, but Smoo going to get caught. Nice shot.
Still going back in towards the B bomb side, though. 2 players have not really moved away, and Demo will mow him down on that USP. A quick 1-2. Leaving Magilla in a 1v4 clutch. Tried rerouting back in towards the B bomb side. Didn't feel like too bad of an option, but there was simply too many players, and they were not even needed. It was just one that had to do all the work. So Magilla. Name of the game is Damage. Not really sure how many he's going to be able to find, but he can try.
Yeah. Surely going to get swarmed upon in a second. That'll be the case. Down he goes, only the one casualty. Honestly, a very easy round. Yeah, for HYPERSPIRIT. They don't break that much of a sweat, which is a bit of a concern. Initially shut down here, and then they immediately cancel, and they catch Ragger in the back lines, and then they all just get plucked apart. And especially here on towards the site itself, simple work.
It's very good shooting coming out of Dima as well. He's one of those very streaky players, as we mentioned. He's got a very mean deke, and he's got very good pistol aim in general. But every now and then, he's just going to have these very good games where he's finding multi-kills and he's making it look very flawless. First buy coming out, regardless of the lack of a bomb plant and the fact that they were able to get just 1 kill throughout the pistol. So maybe something that HYPERSPIRIT wouldn't have really anticipated. They have brought in a lot of rifles, though.
Also kind of an interesting choice, I think, to force buy in a spot like this. A lot of teams would generally, without that bomb plant, take a step back here, no real investment, buy in towards the next. You lose this round, and it gives a nice runway for HYPERSPIRIT to start off the CT side. But a very slow starting to round number 2 for bond1e. Bit of attack pause, without calling attack pause, is my feeling. And now they start to move towards mid.
Wanted to wait out the util. You want to make sure you're not just running in and getting mollied, blocked by utility, because you yourselves don't really have a lot of it. Contacting in. A bit of an explosion coming out of the Tech 9. Star players will spot out the first couple. Molotov will be a little bit too late to stop the first one in line, so Raga will have to do a little bit of work. Adron gets refragged as well. Able to make their own to the bomb site. Gotta be careful, though.
Oh. Dima, great work. Good idea as well. A little tap fire will bait out the shot from Preladon. They know where he is. They're going to double swing on this corner, and Preladon, good effort, but not to be forced by. Unsuccessful. Still very expensive over towards HYPERSPIRIT. The main thing is a second on the board, and that means that now heading in towards the next T round, there's nothing really that bond1e can do here. They can't really bring a lot to the table.
I mean, bond1e are crazy enough to go for another investment here on the back of the 4 kills, right? A bomb plan would have made it a sure thing. Nah. Okay. I was starting to daydream a little bit. That would have made the game so much more exciting if they were like, well, as soon as we were getting the kills, we were forcing up. At least they can go for a lightly armored Tech 9 Eco. Not a single piece of util, though. It's going to make life a little bit harder. But again, every kill is impactful in a round like this. You've got 4 rifles on the CT side. Every single one of them that you're forcing to reinvest going into round number 4 is going to be a small victory. There's one.
Nice work. for a drum, but he probably needed more than one there. They line up for Raga, and it's a triple spray down to shut down the A-pop. And that'll be HYPERSPIRIT up to a third. It was looking a little dicey there. It was looking like there was a bit of space for bond1e, but Raga shuts it down. Brilliant work.
Yeah, they still find 2 kills, which is not too bad, right? Kind of what we touched upon. You make them reinvest into 1 rifle, which is good. But then in the meantime, Raga's able to gobble up these kills, and that's going to mean he's going to have a big green going into the next one. Of course, a quick shout out to Lorgar. Make sure you go and check out the platform. No ult to contest on the T side as of right now for Big Smoo. He's going to be stuck on the AK. What do you want to do here on the T side? Not a lot of early pressure. Deep molly deployed to stop Magilla from closing in the distance, and Star Players is looking in towards the canals. They might be looking to fight canals later on. They've got the op on A. Star Players is being very aggressive as well, and they've got Dima, who's as of right now smoked in towards Con, and that's been replenished now.
Star Players, let's not over fighting towards that window. Holding a strong position with that swinging towards mid. A flash over, then he has a look, but nothing spotted.
Failed the molly.
Yeah, smoked down, but with that failed molly, you can keep him holding a strong position. The nade does a decent bit of chip damage too. Magilla, dangerous swing, but Star Players was just in transition of his position, and in doing so, kind of caught in a place where he knows he needs to give up that spot, and they do. They're going to give it mid-control completely now to the T side.
It's not that bad of a decision, right? The bomb is still moving back and towards the B-bomb side, but they've doubled down connector. Streak will get forced forward. This is a great Molotov, and that kind of gives it away now. They should be ready for the B presence.
Predator making a move, should get in behind one here, but on the 180, Dima had a chance, can't quite convert it. This is the bomb on the back of Smooya, which will do well, but Star Player for 2, and it's all on Smooya now. 1 versus 3. He's a quad clutch in this round, and he's so damn low, and he also hasn't got time. No chance in how he's caught on the reload. And a 4th for HYPERSPIRIT. Flawless start continues for the CT side.
It's such a big double kill coming out of Star Players as well on that rotation. This is why we were talking about the amount of firepower on this lineup. It's not 1 or 2 players. It's all of them that could step up on different occasions. Towards the back of plat. The moment that choker out goes down to Smooth, you're probably thinking this round could get a little bit too scrappy. For the liking of HYPERSPIRIT, that was, of course. Star Players is able to make sure things are under lock and key. No bomb plant once again, meaning you can go for something of a purchase. Predator and Smooth have actually gone all in with AK's armor. $0 left. Everybody else on a half buy. So these two, ideally, are going to need a bomb plant in order to purchase in the next. Of course, you're working with the maximum loss bonus. So if that investment ensures the bomb to go down, then you will be fine.
True. Player holding 4 now. It doesn't have to play too deep towards camera. Predator
nice nade.
Doesn't even bother to get away from the nade as well. He just accepts his fate. Good amount of damage. Double AK. Something's got to be found with it. We've got to get to the position of a bomb plant first. Let's, checklist bit by bit. They're now going to dive out towards the A site. It's Chicago up the first to Dron. One of his own. Tech 9 on Magilla for a double. And that is a rifle scooped up. Hang on, we have a chance here. Bomb will go down. Chicago, first swing, first find from him. Raga going to get a trade as well. It's all on StreakN, who needs a crazy clutch. It's just Raga, and he's running out of ammo. Deagle pulled out. Raga's already clutched 1 round. Oh, but he can't do it this time. The Deagle delivers.
It was the 1 bullet opportunity. He was low on HP as well. Needed to get that 1 deke, or the round was going out once again. You brought in the 2 AKs into the mix, hoping to make it a little bit more expensive for the CT side, keep their economy at bay. And you got away with way more. A big kill out of Crocodile. Adron shuts down Prelate, and this is the double kill that keeps them in the round. It's such a massive play coming out of Magilla, and then StreakN to finish it off. 3 HP, 1 deke.
Is that round going to open up proceedings, really? For the T side, Raga. Yeah, that's the right StreakN. Knew all too well about that spot. Nice find. Nice stage as well. StarLadder is going to take a fairly decent amount of damage.
First time in a while that we've seen HYPERSPIRIT in a bit of an underdog situation in a round. A disadvantage, grouping up in towards the B bomb side. And with Dima going down, that should honestly be a save for the CTs. Even surprised that Joker now tries to find a way back into the round without fight. Just gonna lose his gun to the AWP of Smuya. Should have been a call that you're making to just back off with a 3v5. They are out of money. I mean, it's still difficult to imagine a world in which HYPERSPIRIT are going to be unhappy with the result at the end of the half either way, because they've already gotten 4 rounds on the CT side of Anubis. But I still would say that getting 5, 6 would be a bit more of a guarantee that you've got things under control. There's still a world in which bond1e come back and make this a respectful first half score is what I'm saying, especially with the money being in a dire situation.
Two FAMAS are saved. Terrorists win. It's as good as it gets. And bond1e now give themselves a good little scope to run with on this T side. Very T-sided map as well. Particularly the most T-sided map. So we're wanting to see, you know, a fair decent amount of competitors coming through from this bond1e side. And being realistic, like we didn't really know what to expect from them. Being frank, not played this map in any of their officials prior to this in this tournament, so it's slightly new territory. But these last couple of rounds showing there's a bit of something behind them. They actually don't look too shabby at all.
I mean, it's not the worst map ever to be playing as a mixed team, because it's a map on which you just need to know how to execute a bomb site. You can just group up and go with the flow. Just play as a pack, right? So as long as you have someone to give an off of spawn idea, and then you can group up and just be on the same page, you can pull off a good T side on this map. It's not the most complicated one, but yeah, I feel like they've looked pretty decent in terms of just being on the same page on a lot of the maps. Obviously, you can't expect them to have the deepest playbook ever as a mixed team, but there's a couple decent ideas every now and then being brought up. Also, apparently StreakN's nickname is Tony Stark in the Lithuanian scene. There's a bit of lore.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Is it because he's super rich and builds robots?
I literally have no idea. Or he builds robots and he fights the forces of evil. I don't know. Yeah. He's
the Avenger. They're actually contacting through mid here. And Magila actually he's one dead rights. There we go. Nice and simple. There's a couple more, one of which being this FAMAS, which can still cause problems. But John just overlooks the fact that Magila could get in towards heaven. A little expensive, sure, but it shouldn't make a difference in the round. Oh, Smuya, nice work. Lovely second shot from him. And with that being said, a one-round game now opens up, and this does become quite interesting. HYPERSPIRIT pretty swiftly getting themselves into a position where they're feeling a fair decent amount of pressure.
Yeah, I'd say you still have a decent leeway. Even if you lose one more buy round, it's about the fact that they don't have the AWP anymore as well, right? So you're probably gonna have to fortify these bomb sites a little bit more. You can't really afford to lean heavier in towards middle or in towards B just because you have the open A. And you can see that extra rifle starting in towards A main early on. You've got star players in Adron going for a peek, but bond1e just walking around the lurk smoke. There's only one player here. This round's done.
Yeah, I honestly think you just, especially now that Raggar's fallen, you just shell up and save, and you can already see Chicago's doing exactly that.
Well,
so, bit of a yikes.
That's why a mixed team does well on this map, right? You're just pulling off a play out of FACEIT. Guys, I'll throw the lurk smoke. We just walk out. 2 of us walk jail, 2 of us walk connector side, and we kill them. As simple as it gets. But sometimes it works, and that was one of the occasions.
President. Continuing the hunt a little bit. I think it's the right call because it could still get kind of expensive. StarPlayers will make sure he keeps hold of his M4. And that'll be bond1e tying up this game.
Right.
What is that
if you're HYPERSPIRIT, yeah, okay, so he's got he's got a bit of lore behind him as well, Star Players. Sometimes when he's playing games, I think there's someone else in the room with him watching something on the some Turkish telenovelas on the TV.
Seriously?
Yeah, we've seen a couple adverts as well.
They can't be watching out loud, surely.
Oh, hopefully. Hopefully not.
How would he come?
You know what I'm thinking? That would be the next gen technology. Someone is watching, but the TV has got Bluetooth, and they've just connected a headset, a wireless headset, or in-ears to the TV, and that's how they're watching.
Like that might be I can imagine that being a possibility in some regard. Like maybe like an adapter to do it. Like I've got. For like when I go on flights, I've got an adapter. I can like plug it in to the like the screen on planes, and it will connect to my AirPods.
Oh no, technically it is possible. I just don't know if that's the case with him. But hey, either way, we get to watch some TV every single time we look at his camera.
There we go.
In the meantime, bond1e have lost 2 players in towards middle. That's Miguel and Rao. And are now grouping up in towards an A play. Star Players is low, so Adron might have to do the majority of the heavy lifting. And they do have a Molotov, so they could molly him out towards the back of the bomb site.
So, yep. Spot the shoulder. That's enough. Well, it's gone back sight as well. Drawn dead to right, and it will fall to the flames. Back into a 3 versus 3. Bomb planted as well. And the post plant set up for a main, which Smuya is holding. How quick are the reactions? There's one. And he knows about a second as well because of the shots that were coming through from Beamer. So maybe caught by the blind streak and won't.
Wow.
And this round's falling apart. Raga knows he's got no chance. And that'll be bond1e putting up yet another, their 5th on the board.
Yeah, I feel like now you're entering the territory of calling for your first tactical timeout if you're HYPERSPIRIT. Because this is a very lazy 5 versus 3 and the way that they set up on the A-bomb side. Star Players is on 1 HP. Adron is playing a position where he can't back off from, right? Even if Star Players get shut down instantly, Adron is forced to fight. Even if they don't have the Molotov, by the way, you can't just miraculously escape and wait for everybody else to arrive, right? So you are forcing yourself to make a move there. With the Molotov, he's basically dead straight away. So this is not the ideal setup to be practicing in a situation like this, and I think they would agree at the end of the round. Good work coming out of Smuya as well. He's looked very good on the AWP. bond1e getting a 3 versus 5. HYPERSPIRIT starting to let go of that first map, or well, at least the first half. As we said, 1 or 2 more rounds on the CT side and everything is going to be just fine. It's just the terrifying possibility of not winning a single one until the end of the half.
Yeah, that's it. Side who have really fallen apart here. Not a huge amount on offer in the early portion of this round.
Do the B players have any U2? Yeah, Crocodile's got a Molotov and a smoke. This is going to be a B-pop coming out with all 5 players. No one through connector, no one going around the world, no shenanigans, nothing whatsoever.
Oh,
that's a big kill.
Can't even get it out. Sweet. Finds him before he can even fathom throwing the molly. And with that being said, like, the round's probably done already. Like, and I think it is kind of the way HYPERSPIRIT is set up.
Yeah, it's just been a little bit too simple for bond1e to pick up some of these rounds. That's what it feels like, right? And you've got the element of proactivity in towards middle. They flash up, they don't see anyone. The moment that your players flash in towards middle and clear it, and the A player is not seeing anything, you need to chuck some of that utility out in towards the B-bomb side. If you're Choker down in Dimo, right? You either smoke or molly or flash. You do something to stall because your teammates have made noise somewhere else. There's been no reaction. There's been no confirmed information. No players spotted. You could have had a third player rotate back on the back of the mid clear, but had to buy time for it.
That being said, now up to 6 in a row, I may add, for bond1e. Since the money has come into play, they have been completely running away with this. Now, generally speaking, for kind of a mixier side, I'm always going to assume that they're going to feel a little bit more comfortable on their T side than they would on their CT side. But the way bond1e are playing right now, they're looking so confident, so comfortable, and very doubt that they won't give themselves a lead heading in towards that CT side, which is always going to help. Even something as kind of like quote-unquote small as a 7-5, you take that and get a pistol behind it, before you know it, HYPERSPIRIT are in serious trouble on their map pick, which is kind of meant to be a punish, considering that bond1e haven't played it in official.
There's McGill on the double opening on the T side. This is what type of a game this is turning into now. You've got McGill with a good spawn saying, we've got plenty of cash, let me try something funny. He's not been given an opportunity. Where's the other op? It's moving towards B, holding for that type of a play. A bit of a tight angle, misses the first one. Rao is able to compensate. Smuya might actually cut off Dima's opportunity falling back.
Ooh.
He's done it for now.
Nice shot from McGill.
They know HYPERS alone.
We'll get traded. Smuya finds his, keeps the numbers in favor of bond1e. Jakardo's fallen off the B site itself because he's worried about a mid-play. But in doing so, it's given them the chance to start maneuvering towards B. And now he's been spotted and StreakN will see him off. Smoke down as well to stop them pushing out. But for a draw, I don't think he's even going to give this really a look in. I think he might just keep this rifle on deck for the final round of play. And that'll be bond1e guaranteeing a lead. 7th on the board, 7th in a row. I think with that AWP scooped up, that all but confirms things. He's just saving this big green. Well, with that being said, HYPERSPIRIT probably wouldn't mind a pause heading in towards the final round of the half. Just with how dicey these last few have been. This makes out that bond1e are having a whale of a time, but they're going to play it out, let it run. You lose this and it goes 8-4. bond1e are loving life.
Yeah.
They steal away this map as well. It does become a very interesting series. It was never really an expectation for me.
No, I mean, stealing Anubis away, probably not. The series being a little bit more competitive, sure, but this is a bit concerning for HYPERSPIRIT. Not because the score is 8-7, or, well, not 8-7, sorry. Could be 8-4 on the T side for bond1e, but because they had such a good start on the CT side and they've allowed it to slip. Star players not getting a kill here is a bit of a head scratcher, especially with the initial damage done on McGillen. Look at Rowan towards middle. He could just sneak in towards tempo or go camera for the Adron kill. Oh. Never mind.
Nice move from Adron. A good find.
All right.
But you'll go down to a HE. Jakardo's here in heaven for the swing. McGillen's going to want to check it, but he's so low. Down he goes, quick trade from Smuya. Still a 2 versus 2. I'm not going down just yet. Smuya will lose his life to Riger in the AWP. That's bomb dropped as well, and it's all on Predator, but he has 40 seconds to work with. Plan in which he'll stick. The CT side will respect it. Molly comes down to the front hand side of the site. Predator in a 1 versus 2. Here's the swing out. There's the first. Looking for the second. Up on high. Can't find it. So for the first time in a long time, HYPERSPIRIT are going to get around back on the board.
That was a much needed one. You start off the half with a 4-0. You end it with the last round as well. Look at the streakiness. It's a great T-side recovery coming out of the side of bond1e, all things considered. A big round out of Smooya. Some very nice shots out of the Opers in this one. First the flick out of Smooya. Then the flick out of Raga onto Smooya himself. We end up with a 7-5. He keeps on drinking, this man. Every single time we look at him, he's drinking something. I think there was water in the bottle now.
Yeah. Keep it hydrated. I respect it.
Yeah, but he's reusing the same water, the same bottle that had, what, orange juice in there or something?
Yeah. I will say that's quite, it's very British. We all do that.
It's a bit vile, though. It messes up with the taste of the water, no?
It does a little bit, but it's honestly, it's such a British thing. Like I used to do that all the time growing up with Lucozade Sport bottles. I think like everybody I know, it becomes like your water bottle at school and stuff. Is like you buy a Lucozade Sport once and then you just fill it up with water and you use it forever.
Sure. I don't think I've actually ever tried that. Is it good?
Honestly, it's pretty solid. Like it's again, it's so popular in the UK, like Lucozade Sport. But it's pretty solid. I think the orange is like kind of the normal one, but there's like a mango one which is pretty good, like zero sugar mango. It's pretty good.
Everything has got zero sugar at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Coke Zero, no calories. Yes, please. That makes me feel like I'm staying healthy. Well, I'm probably not, but Magilla, he's pushed a Smooya. With the players who don't mind wielding the AWP have made a move in towards mid.
Nice
Good
shot.
idea on the clearance, but Jakarta, patience will pay off for him.
Yeah, stops him right in his track. Fight in towards B as well. Predator will drop Dima. And you've seen only one player in towards B, so that should be a pretty clear sign what's going on. Dancing around. Raga able to find that kill onto Rel. Smooya does find one in between. They do have the possibility of going back. That's exactly what they're doing. Raga doesn't even need to stick around. It's too late for them to arrive and stop the bomb from crossing towards the bomb site. Predator won't be able to make the cross, and even if he tries to, Chocodel's there to cover with yet another. That's a double kill on the Glock. And the StreakN and Smooya 2 versus 3. They don't really have a defuse kit, so you got to be fairly quick with this one. No utility either. Good thing is Raga's far away, so you do have a 2v2 technically onto the bomb side, especially if Smooya's getting kills like that.
Oh,
there goes a quick 1-2. Now they spotted the last one. They still have enough time, I believe. Raga's just wasting it right now. Going with the knife, and Smooya will get the final kill. Does he have enough time on the clock, though? I don't feel like he does. And he's just giving this one away. Didn't have time for the defuse. It's a couple very nice shots out of the USP, but it was simply not enough.
Yeah, it's... Honestly, there's both sides can be taken away silver linings away from that. Of course, the big silver lining for HYPERSPIRIT is the round being won, but getting all 5 kills is absolutely huge for bond1e, and that'll give them a bit of breathing room to work with. That'll make them feel a little bit more comfortable about things. Where I'd be surprised if they don't force, and yeah, they are going to come back with that force. It makes a lot of sense to me. Like, you've got the money to work with, and you know that they're going to be full reinvesting in themselves, that you have a bit of a chance. And for Smooya, MP9's alongside it, and a bit of utility for the CT side. They've just got smokes across the deck. One AK and a few Galils. You make the argument that HYPERSPIRIT have the slightly better firepower, and they have the stronger util belts to fall back on, but still a very precarious round.
Yeah, could easily get out of control. This is an interesting boost. Not the one that you see all of the time. But it is good for a kill, especially with some of the tempo smokes. If they go a little bit deeper, you might have a gap over it. So it's not a bad one for one kill. The big problem with it is that if you get the kill, you're just locked out of the bomb site. If you do get forced to drop down, you can't really cross and support the other guy. That's why... a lot of people do that, but if you just want to get the cheeky kill and you have a bit of a B stack going on, it's not too bad. As of right now, though, HYPERSPIRIT leaning a little bit more in towards an A play. Eyes on the Yuto, as you pointed out, you've got 4 smokes, double molly, and a bunch of flashes. So this is one proper A side execution in there. You smoke heaven, you smoke camera, molly broken, molly backside, you go in, and you win the round.
Predator forced away by the molly. Raga, Jakarta kills a piece for them. And the dive is a nice idea, but they will need some untraded kills to have any sort of a chance. We're going to get spammed out by that smoke. And while Rel finds a couple, it's all for Nords. HYPERSPIRIT going to tie this game up 7 apiece.
Yeah, you understand why they had to go for the force buy on the CT side after the damage in the first one, after getting all 5 kills and Smooya surviving. And I would understand if they want to go for a bit of a half buy here as well on the back of the kills that Rel was able to get. There's going to be a Smooya M4 being brought in. Rel might have been the one to drop it over, actually. Now that I look at it. Must have had enough money for it after the MP9 kills. So Smooya entrusted with an opportunity once again. Tease didn't see the boost last time around, so you decide to run it again, and Smooya does make it work for the 1.
Like the idea, but Smooya going to fall. With that being said, StreakN up close. Does need something kind of special to crack a couple of heads, but not to be or fall to the hands of Jakarta out. 1 versus 2. I mean, Predator's more or less full HP. So still definitely a chance here. It needs to be grossly misplayed for this to fall flat, though.
I mean,
got the numbers,
he knows where both of them are.
Exactly.
He's heard the bomb carrier run towards the bomb side. He knows the other guy's going to be late in towards A main. He can charge through.
The thing is, they know where he is when they see him off.
Yeah. That was a good attempt. It's not a bad half buy for the CT side, all in all. Smooya able to get a double. That picked up M4, gets 1 more onto Paladin. So you do make the first couple of rounds fairly expensive for the T side. You look at the money. Adron's got 1150. You've got 150 on Demon, 350 on Rag after he buys an AK. Oh, never mind. Someone else dropped 1 over. So money is a little bit better, but it's still not ideal on the T side. bond1e are basically 2 rounds away from resetting the CT side, or the T side economy, rather. That would let them get back into the swing of things, but HYPERSPIRIT looking to keep it fairly simple with yet another A pop. This is a monster HE on top of Adron.
Yeah.
Still got to be careful. Oh, Predator is so dead.
He's playing a really dangerous game here. Just a little bit too exposed, too easy for Adron. Magila caught by the flashes, so he's tucked up close. But because of his position, he can land a mark here, and he does. There's 1, but a quick trade from Adron. He's holding for the flank. He spotted the head of Rel. So you'll get back 1 back in blood. And a 2 versus 3. It's not impossible, but they're just so far away. I mean, StreakN feels like he's already soft saving, and Smooya, I think he's doing the same, just playing for exits.
Oh yeah,
so they
made the call. I think they made the call like 5 seconds ago, right? The moment that they lose the bomb side and they lose 1 more player in towards middle, they just knew they were not going for this. A bit of a tough situation to be in if you're bond1e, wouldn't you say?
For sure.
Yeah.
They're in a pretty awful spot. I mean, may not seem that drastic by the scoreline. They're only being kind of 2 rounds of difference, but they're not bringing a lot to the table. And it was exactly the thing I said coming into a game like this. They're always going to be decent on the T side. It's always the CT sides where you fall apart. And I've not even casted this bond1e side, but it's how every mix works. You know, their CT sides are always the big issue, because that's the thing you can't really train as a mix. They're kind of the synergy and the cohesion and all the rest, and it's obviously having quite a big effect right now.
Yeah, I'd say it's more so the lack of protocols right now as well, right? Because HYPERSPIRIT are playing a very simplified T side. They know they can group up, go for an execution, and there's probably not going to be anything special on the other side to deal with them, right? It's very easy to abuse on a map like this that in general is so difficult to just stay back and hold on to. That's why you see a bit of a switch up now from bond1e, something a bit more aggressive in towards the canals, but HYPERSPIRIT quite aware of the possibility, not really using any of their utility early on. which could be a bit of an issue for bond1e, by the way. They're already left with 1 smoke and 2 Molotovs. Nothing to defend with. HYPERSPIRIT have barely used any nades.
So yeah, gonna try and go up once this molly fades. Jakarta's round this corner. Smooya has a great little position here. Surely one dead to right, and he'll get it. It's information for Raga. There's 2 here.
Oh,
that is a bold move to fight, and that bomb I think spills off the lip in towards water. So with that being said, it's Demon all alone now. No chance.
This was such a wild play out of Raga, by the way. If you coordinated a little bit better with the player in towards the stairs, maybe there's some reasoning behind it, but you know Smooya was on top of a boost. You know there's 2 players staring at you. That swing there is just, I know I'm not winning the round probably unless they whiff me hard and I can get both these kills. It's a good response coming out of bond1e though. Quite difficult to stay comfortable so late in towards the round, in towards canals as well. Commit to the boost that late into the round is honestly a bit crazy. But they do make it work. 1 round the difference. And now we're entering a very funny territory on Anubis.
Yeah.
There's enough money for somewhat of a reinvestment on HYPERSPIRIT. It's not even going to be great if they want to go for it. Honestly, it might even be a half buy. Crocodile can get himself a hero, okay? You can let Raga open. You can just eco with everybody else. If they want to go all in, which they will, it won't be ideal. You're going to have a bunch of players on Galos. Utility's not going to be great. And then if you lose this round, this is bond1e leveling things up, having better economy than you on the CT side. And this could be HYPERSPIRIT's map pick going out of control.
Really interesting to see for me. Just if bond1e can rekindle that flame a little bit, find that form as they did in towards that T side. Obviously 7 in a row, they ran with things. Speak about the problems of the CT side. Let's see whether this is a continuation now. There's proper money to work with. Smooya, that was a great opportunity, but he just threads the needle, splits the difference between the 2 players, and in doing so gives HYPERSPIRIT that water control, and now gives them the freedom to rotate between the 2 sides.
Such a big part of the map is under the control of the T's right now. They've got canals, they've got some presence in towards middle, they've got a lobby, they've got vision in towards B lobby. bond1e are playing with basically nothing right now. They don't really know what's going on. They can just read off of the Uto and try and guess. If that ends up being a split in towards that A bomb side, it's just Magilla and Preladon, and there's no one to help them. No quick rotations, no movement whatsoever. This is a good moment for Smooya to start making his way back into towards tempo.
40 seconds. Decision to be made here. They're very slow in there. The push coming through. Again, they're leaving this quite late. A nice time on that CT smoke.
Oh, Smooth's going out. He's going back.
Magilla gonna get caught. Jakar out. Does great work. The doubles on the table, and Predator's gonna get 3. I cannot believe it. He nearly sets himself up for a 4th. But look at the time, 10 seconds. Bomb gonna try to go down. Smooya's holding for this swing. He misses the chance. Bomb will be planted. Dima somehow dodges the first fight. As star players will find StreakN, and an overlook. It's all on the shoulders of Smooya. Against Dima, he's looking to try and bait him out of this box. Smooya's lost track. Can't quite find him. He's pretty low himself, 41 points of HP. Smooya gets the tag through the box. That is heartbreak for bond1e and HYPERSPIRIT, who just walk away with a round.
I've got no clue how they're able to get away with this one, HYPERSPIRIT. This is daylight robbery, especially after that triple kill out of Predator towards the back of the bomb side. Look at that. The turnaround even gets a 3rd and nearly a 4th kill out of it. It's a big play coming out of Dima and star players to hold on. bond1e doing the damage, getting themselves so close, but yes, so far. Look at the money on both sides. Whoever wins this round might be in for another. For HYPERSPIRIT, that might mean winning the map, but for bond1e, this is still not a dire situation. You could still fight back.
There's Ron. He's going to go star players with the smoke here. StreakN's holding it. Good idea to keep the gun out in this one, especially now that the Noah 1 is up close. So John swinging a fine. Smooth, can't hit the shot. Honestly, feels like he's unlucky not to at least get a leg there, but Dima's going to get a double, and that being said, HYPERSPIRIT all but guaranteed for the 11th hit.
Yeah, Smooth's just legging people. He can't get the kills, but he's hitting leg shots, right? He got the attack in the 1v1 in the previous. Now he hits the leg shot, and you can see both Adron and Star players being so low on HP. This is one of these rounds where you feel you're a little bit hard done by fate if you're a bond1e, but HYPERSPIRIT are definitely going to take this one. And happy they will be to take it. They've not lost a single player, and that might stay unchanged. They might remain so. Preluden's the only one holding on to an M4. I don't even feel like HYPERSPIRIT want to go for the hunt as much, considering you keep all 5 alive here. You're not thinking about money until the end of the map, that's for sure. And bond1e themselves are in a very critical financial situation.
Yeah, well, save is a silver lining, but it's not a nice spot. Difficult predicament for now. 2 rounds away from HYPERSPIRIT recovering this map, and for bond1e, you really got to feel for them as well, considering, you know, with how things have been for this side and a couple of these occasions where it's just so close. This CT side is what's really killed them. And this sort of feels like the last hurrah. You lose this round, HYPERSPIRIT find 12, and the money's broken for bond1e. So it is do or die in this spot.
Some aggression. Oh, that's a lovely shot out of Raga, ready for Prelude. And where there's one, there might be a second Magilla. They've heard him behind the Molotov, so he was a little bit forced to just extinguish and go back. Without attack, you've got the element of surprise with it in there. You would have just been walking into your own demise. They get that man advantage once again, and again, the CTs don't really have a lot of control, right? They need to re-aggress in towards B lobby. This is a must, but Dima's got a very good spot for at least 1 kill.
1, made that 2. Beautiful from Dima. Now into a 2 versus 5, no chance for bond1e here. And not only having no chance in the round, but I wonder, can they stay alive? Right. Star player's got other ideas about it. And the last one on Magilla, that kind of sums up this CT side, unfortunately, for bond1e. A laboured spray and a flawless round for the T side.
Well, they're just running them down right now. Dima's had a couple very good rounds in towards B. Look at a streak. That's 3 in a row. They started the second half 4 in a row, so this is 7 out of the last 8 rounds. Yeah. Right. Okay. That went through a very thick wall.
Yeah.
Very thick wall. Raga still gets the kill, though. Good for him. 12-8. 4 consecutive opportunities for HYPERSPIRIT to close it here and now. Star players won't really get anyone to fight against in towards A main on the back of that boost, but they've been more than all right. HYPERSPIRIT with allowing bond1e to technically, if they want to, take water control at the start of each round. And then just focus a little bit more towards the extremities, retake that middle part of the map later on. A very patient, very diligent game we've seen out of the T's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. HYPERSPIRIT. Let's recoup towards the minute mark. They've not made too much of a decision so far. Trying to draw a bit of that CT utility, draw in a couple of fights. Might potentially get one here in towards mid. Magilla, it's a bold move, and it will work against them. It's an easy one for Chikada. Just catches them creeping through that smoke. So the opener goes the way of the T side, and already things feel like they're trying to slot themselves into place. Dima got a double from this spot in towards the previous round, and it might be more for him to come through. in round number 21, which potentially could be the last. They're looking to dive now on towards this B site. StreakN's going to play up close. Only for the close position. Smoke behind it as well. They've got to clear the close right as Dima going to go looking and finding. The transfer not as good, but star players will get a second. And with that being said, Preledin are 1 versus 4. No chance in hell for him.
No, it's been a valiant effort. They tried to make this map a little bit more competitive. Maybe you win the pistol when you get a better start in the first half, and there might have been something for you here on Anubis, but it's a 13-8 in favor of HYPERSPIRIT, and it's one map standing between the Romanians and a spot in Barcelona now. They make the first step towards it. It was their map pick. It was a map that we've not seen.
Loser of this will be taking on Inner Circle Academy, who actually look like a really interesting side. Like that team for me have been really quite spicy. I caught them a bit in the groups, and there was a lot to like from that team. So I don't think, you know, that lower bracket being kind of a possibility is a real risk unto itself, and especially when you're so close to the LAN. But without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Map number 2 here. We are heading in towards Overpass. The pick of bond1e to see whether they can stay alive here in this best of 3.
Yeah, staying alive with a bit of a good old classic. A B-pop on a pistol on the T side. Already a Goosh on towards Adron. Defensive smoke comes in. Star players will 1, but the Glocks are, as of right now, winning the majority, if not all of the fights going on towards that B-bomb side. And to no surprise, Raga couldn't really connect. StreakN going huge with that picked up pistol. A very good start. Exactly what you were after.
Yes, exactly that. Come out the gates absolutely flying. It's a real kind of nice way to set a bit of a tone as well. Like, this is our expectation for what we're going to expect from bond1e on this T side. And if they can get this T side going, that'd be huge. Statistically speaking, this map is the most CT side of map that we have in the pool by kind of quite some margin. Then you've got Mirage number 2 and Nuke that third. So if you can build up a decent T side here, it's going to put you in a fantastic spot. And I think kind of for bond1e, we've already spoken about it. The T sides where they do their best work. So it's a sort of a twice fold in a sense. The T sides where they do the best work, but also you put up a good T side on this map specifically, and it alleviates a lot of the pressure. You still want to repeat a lost map, which was, you know, 7 in a row and looking okay, and then it all falling flat. And Magila will walk in. Oh, one more spot, and he couldn't quite get the crosshair train. They might not expect Jakar down, but he's going to get away with one.
Very spooky. Thankfully, Smooth is in position to get that refrag onto Choker now. But there's one more player in towards long. I'm not really sure if they spotted Raga. I think they have. And yeah, definitely now they have been able to get the kill. Adron with an opportunity to get the one onto Row. He was low on HP. Couldn't really follow up with a 5-7. So they do put this force bite to bed. Supposedly starting things off with a 3-0 here are bond1e. A bit of a scrappy one. The moment at this point, my brain has been reprogrammed. The moment I see Dima get one shot with a deco, I'm just expecting more.
Yeah.
He's very clean with it. Very nasty.
Yeah, he's been really, really solid at times as well. But yeah, who's checking on the board? Should mean that that third's a guarantee. Shouldn't be that hard to fathom here. So, with that being said, HYPERSPIRIT in round number 4 when they come back in towards their buy round. Pretty important one to say. If they lose that, they're actually early doors in this map in a bit of trouble. In a round like this, we're not expecting a lot. Being realistic, if you can get yourself a couple of constellation kills, that'll be nice. Anything more feels unlikely, but instead it's Predator making a lot of money on the MAC-10. Oh, there's the couple of constellation kills. So there we go. There's a silver lining.
Yeah, at least you're trying to keep that economy at bay to some extent for the T side. Getting a bunch of pickups from the Ds. But again, it's a pretty similar story, I want to say, to the previous map, where we could say that HYPERSPIRIT had a very good start on the T side, so it didn't really matter how things would go after the fact. I think it's a very similar situation here for bond1e. No matter how expensive the rounds are, no matter whether HYPERSPIRIT can get onto winning ways and start putting the pressure on bond1e, already having 3 rounds to lead with on the T side of Overpass is quite an achievement. eyes on Smuya.
Oh. Honestly, decent trades. Dima getting a double, but yeah, Smuya, who's completely pushed bridge, caught the water player, and wrapped through now as well. He can cut rotations. With that being said, another round going to go the way of the T side. Nothing that can really be done about it. Chikada and Raga will save the M4 and the AWP.
That's a very quick T side to start for bond1e. I like the pace to it. Especially in the first buy round, you try to go for something that fast. Smuya is able to get himself in a very good position in towards short early on without the CTs realizing he was past the Molotovs, past all the timings. Gets free kill onto the water player, so it didn't really matter that Demo was able to go for a double kill in towards Monster. It's a good rundown. I generally... Oh, yeah. Yeah, McGill got a bunny as well. We saw it yesterday. He's back now. Yeah.
Just
he's a bit in the back.
On the floor?
yeah. Yesterday, he spent a good portion of the game on the floor. Just chilling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Have you had a bunny?
No. I've only ever had dogs.
Okay.
I did have a hamster when I was younger, but it didn't last very long.
Right. I don't think they usually do.
No, they just seem to die in like super weird ways. This one died because somebody sneezed and had a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah. Like, what can you do about that? Like,
right.
somebody sneezed and just keeled over. We're like, all right, that's unfortunate. We only had it for like, I don't know, a few months.
Okay. So you could just... So someone literally murdered it by sneezing.
I guess, technically, yeah. It wasn't even like a family member. It was like somebody coming to like fix our fridge.
Oh, okay.
Pretty mental. We were like, damn, okay.
Well, did he fix the fridge?
He did, so I guess job done in a way.
Well, this is not what we're wishing for McGillis bunny. Just to clarify. Hopefully this bunny... Well, bunnies live for longer. I had a bunny when I was younger. It was alive for around 7-8 years or so.
They last. They're a bit more, with it, I think, as well, the bunnies.
I mean, they are more intelligent than a hamster. They definitely wouldn't get a heart attack the moment that you sneeze around them, yeah. I think they realize that happens. The poor hamster, man.
Yeah.
It's not a fun way to go.
No, it was very out of the blue.
Well, yeah. I can imagine. But look at this bunny. I really like it. I like the fact that he's letting it just run around while he's playing. It is dangerous, Bunnies could, if a little bit wilder, actually eat the cables.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I've heard of people who've had like some sort of like, again, animals like that who have like nibbled at cables and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's happened to me as well. My bunny tried nibbling the LAN cable at home. Unsuccessfully, happily, because he was spotted in time, but they could be a little bit nasty with it sometimes.
I've definitely heard stories of like, whether people have like, like a pet, rat or something, and they've like nibbled like electrical wires and don't make it.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it was like a big thing in England for like when I was growing up, where if anyone had like any sort of, I don't know what, like I guess rodent or any of that kind of thing, they were really kind of on it, like do not let them just like run around. They like nibble everything and they can like electrocute themselves. Like be careful.
Okay, yeah. No, I think, but if you have a rat or a mouse or whatever, surely you don't just let it run around the house or the apartment, right?
Yeah, well, that's what but again, like having that's the first time I've seen a rabbit just like chilling.
Okay. Yeah, I think with rabbits it's a bit more normal because they're bigger and, they're easier to spot. It's very difficult to lose track of a rabbit.
Oh my God, I just realized I did actually have a rabbit growing up.
You did?
Yeah, when I was a kid, like really young in South Africa, and it ran away.
Okay.
when I maybe had it from when I was like maybe like 3 to 4. It ran away because we had quite a big garden in South Africa, and we had like kind of like a bit of a forest basically in our back garden. It escaped. We never saw it again, and then like 5 years later, my dad went over to our neighbors and was like just asking them, you know, just hanging out or whatever, and then they saw like a lot of rabbits with like a lot of like bunnies and stuff, and the neighbor was like, yeah, like came over like a few years ago, just been living at the end of our garden, and it was my rabbit.
All right.
They
didn't care to tell you. Right.
They didn't know it was ours. They just thought a rabbit turned up, and then it was like they just started living at the end of their like little garden forest bit.
Sure.
And it had,
so he
like,
did live a full life.
Yeah, he had a great life. Had loads of kids.
Nice.
Like, my dad said there was like 30 kids, so he was chilling.
He was busy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thankfully we can stop talking about rabbits fornicating, and we can get back to Counter-Strike, because yeah, whatever technical difficulties there were, they were already fixed. So bond1e 4-0 up on the T side. Another reinvestment coming out of HYPERSPIRIT with the AWP in the hands of Raga. Obviously, things not going great for them so far. The B-bomb side falling down in the first buy, which was the previous round, which happened quite a while ago. But that was a double kill out of Dima, and regardless, a double save from HYPERSPIRIT on the other side of the map the moment that the B-bomb side defense crumbled. So now you're looking at bond1e looking to have a very successful T side already. 5 rounds to start. Should put you on the right track.
Yeah, you're probably right. Flash over towards long for the peak. Nothing to be found. 40 seconds to work with. A flash in that corner will just force the AWP off from map or a little bit further back, just in case.
They know
Looks like
that's
they're going to cancel. Yeah.
No? They should rotate someone back in towards the B-bomb side. Yeah, StarPlayers is already running.
Caught with the molly. One for him, one for StarPlayers. Mom should be able to go down, and so we're just going to make sure of that with a nice find from him. And a really difficult choice about what to do in this round. Ooh. If anything. I think you want to save here, to be honest.
I think you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raga's low on HP. He's got that AWP that he's trying to hold on to. Chokerdal's already in towards T-Con, and he's going up the ladder, making sure that he holds on to his M4. That's back-to-back rounds that the B-bomb side has just crumbled a little bit. Even when they knew what was going on, Adron and StarPlayers are able to get 2 kills, but Dima falls down without a single one. And again, a couple nice pickups coming out of Magilla. Smuya with another shot onto the OP. He's yet to register a death. Chokerdal, that's... He just appeared in front of him.
Yeah, this is great work. They're really having a bit of a whale of a time now. And you can see why this is like the pocket map, and what we were saying feels like the bit of a alleviation of the pressure in this veto. May not have as many reps or as much experience and all the rest, but this is that pocket map that they've got for them that feels like a real strength in the pool. It's great work. 5-0. Also, 5 rounds of T-side generally, I think that's, in my mind, a good amount already.
Yeah, looking to make the 6 as well. Raga under a lot of pressure, able to get a double kill, and he's got the support of StarPlayers, finally. A bit of a response coming out of the CT side of HYPERSPIRIT. And it's a Smuya 1 versus 3 or bust. Bust it will be. StarPlayers with a triple. First round on the board. And as you said, it's already a very good T side for bond1e. So from here on out, it's just HYPERSPIRIT trying to ease the pain a little bit. But this is a start.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really nice position to be in. Just to finally get one on the board. It's a confidence booster. Individual stepping up. It's also sort of fighting fire with fire, I think, for HYPERSPIRIT. Like, that's the kind of round that should ignite a bit of a flame in you. Exactly what we want to be seeing. Question is, now how do you build upon this?
It's working now. I mean, working once again. Raga able to get that opening onto Magilla. Star players has got the support of Raga. They know the Oper was trying to go for a peek. That's why Dimo was not jumping to follow. Oh, there's no way StreakN has gotten a double kill out of that. Was that even possible? It was an Op and a rifle. They just tag him down. They should still keep two people on the B bomb side, though.
Yeah.
Right? Because Crocodile's not seeing anything on A.
And it looks like that is actually what they're going to do as well. At least for now. John and Team are playing together. You might even want to send StreakN out as kind of partially a bit of a human flashbang. He's so low. Draw the crosshairs. Get traded. 45 seconds. Here comes the util. And I'll let them know where they're trying to finish. And now they start scaling through. Nade, bit of chip damage. There is a player in towards barrel. Right. StreakN will go down to the nade. Well up close as well. But Smooya and Predator combine well and leaves it all on the shoulders of Chicago. Bomb it down and a tough retake for him in a 1 versus 2.
Able to get one, not quite a second. Flash goes high, doesn't blind the rifle. That was a little bit weird. If Crocodile was able to get that refrag onto Smooya on short, that would have been very doable. There was a dink coming in from the B player. There's the replay. Raga with an opening. This is the double kill that turns the round on its head. And still, Adron putting such a good shift in towards that B bomb side, able to get a double. Dima probably didn't really have to make that move straight away. Could have waited for Crocodile a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, immediate response that comes through. And the worst kind of possible thing as well when you've actually been in a bit of rotter form at the start of a map is you finally get a good round on the board. We were kind of bigging up HYPERSPIRIT, like it felt quite nice. Individuals look kind of sharp, good kind of read and control. And then it's a flash in the pan. It's immediately thrown back in your face. It's tough on the mental, it's tough on the momentum. But also just tough on things like the econ, for example, and the loss bonus and all the rest. So difficult predicament to find yourselves in for HYPERSPIRIT. If they can't get a recovery in this half, it's going to be a very quick map number 2 by my books.
That's what it looks like. 6 rounds already. Unless HYPERSPIRIT just flip the switch and turn into a different gear, this could run away from you very, very quickly. It already kind of is.
Yeah.
Slowing things down. It's an A walk. Now, the op is there, but it's in towards the upper toilet. So Smooya's going to have a 1v1 against the rifle. That's an interesting jump to make sure he's got the angle covered. Crocodile fires a couple bullets from behind. Misses. Rel turns around, gets the kill. Bomb dropped, and now they know where Raga is. He's going back for more.
Let's see. Raga going to get caught. The flash. And that being said, bomb scooped up. It's going to dip down towards that B site once again. They've had a lot of comfortable finishes here. John, lead down. That'll come behind it, but it's all actually a little bit premature. But are they also now cancelling and going back top site? Yeah, they are. Raga might have the number on the AWP. First fight for him is great. Looks for a second, but he gets his head ripped off his shoulders. And now they can scale it towards the A site. 12 seconds, not loads of time to work. StreakN trying to move his way forward. Gets the trade. He can't get the transfer. And it's all on Smooya 1 versus 2. And he doesn't have time, so he's going to shell up and save.
Oh, it's not a bad pickup towards the end, by the way. I'm not really sure what Antron was doing. I guess trying to cross in towards long to pick up the AWP, but he does give his life away. So this is quite massive out of Smooya. Sure, HYPERSPIRIT pick up the round, but Smooya makes sure they don't get that op saved up. He makes sure that he gets another kill, so there's one alive. Money's still very low on the CT side. Difficult to get excited if you're HYPERSPIRIT.
Yeah, it's again, this sort of these issues. Like when they are winning, now it's like it's expensive. And again, it comes back to this thing: just do not allow this to be a flash in the pan. If you get an immediate response that comes through, you're once again going to be in this sort of further position of trouble. Have to find some consistency, some sort of form. And it starts well. Opening triple, in fact, goes the way at the CT side. So, there is the form, finally. Last 2. or made that last one. No chance in hell.
It's very telling of what HYPERSPIRIT is as a team, right? It's very shocking that this is the same team that was playing for the first 6 rounds of this CT side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at the way that they're cleanly picking up the slack now. And it looks like they're winning these fights in such a flawless way. Obviously, it's a bit fortunate for Adron to get a double through the smoke, right? But everything else just looks very comfortable. Very logical, very clean. The same way that they're winning these clean rounds, they can lose very cleanly as well. Well, cleanly for the other side, so I guess in a quite a dirty way. Not sure if it works. Actually, it doesn't, but I like the sound of it. But you get the point. You never know where you're getting with these guys. They're like they're like a bus driver. Like a bus driver in London, right?
Right. Where are we going?
Either going to be great or very bad.
Right. I get you. Well, nothing around here. Another immediate shutdown. And with that being said, actually are getting a slight recovery out here from the CT side. Up to 4 now, 2-round game for the final 2 rounds of the half. They can make it a tied game at the halfway point. They're going to give them a chance. I still think already, like, in general, 6 rounds by kind of my metrics is enough on the T side, right? But
yeah,
the only caveat to that is that, you know, if it's 6 rounds but you do lose that form towards the tail end and the control, like, it might potentially kind of knock the confidence ever so slightly.
Sure. Yeah. I'd say the only reason that I still think, well, I've learned something over the course of the last couple of days of this tournament, Neo.
Yeah.
Just don't have any expectations, right? There's a logical thing that could happen, but then there's what will happen in these games, right? Anything's possible.
That's it.
Yeah, in general, you'd say bond1e have already won the map if they have 6 rounds on the T side that early on Overpass, which, as you said, has been the most CT-sided map since the start of the year on pro level. But in the same time, can HYPERSPIRIT get a 6-6 and then win the pistol conversions and get a 4-0 start in the second half? Probably they can. So who knows, really, what the gods of craziness have prepared for us. Well, as of right now, they've prepared a, what, 3rd clean round in a row? This would be 3 in a row where they've not lost a single player.
That's it. Yeah. And they've been quick rounds. Like, they're trying to go really quite punchy here. And you can understand why bond1e want to do that, because it is inherently what they're like.
Well, it's not clean.
Yeah. Magila gets the consolation. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, we also kind of saw the issues, the pitfalls about the CT side of bond1e, and that's the thing that still is just lurking in the back of my mind a little bit.
Yeah, I think with these types of games, it's always very unpredictable, right? Because things could just fall apart at the start of the second half, and as we said, you're following the worst case scenario for bond1e, but this could realistically turn out to be a 6-10 in favor of HYPERSPIRIT, and then it would be pretty possible for them to run away with a win. So for bond1e, it is quite important to at least try and pick up that 7-5 or get the pistol in the second half. Make sure you're not letting HYPERSPIRIT take the lead. Double flashing towards Monster. Preledon spots it out, hears it, but couldn't really do anything to try and punish them. And they know he's alone there. So this has given them the information that they're after, right? Especially now with the short control being acquired. Thus, you'll see Dima start to move closer in towards that A-bomb side. Oh. This is a very good pickup out of StreakN.
Yeah,
is he ready for Adron? Doesn't feel like it.
Chicago for 1. Looks for a second. Smia might overlook that corner. He does actually get a sizable amount of damage off on towards him, but it's not enough for the kill.
Look at
still remain in favor of bond1e, but maybe only briefly. Smia doubles back, and that'll be at the cost of his life.
Now you know it's a B play, right? Smia was just running back to throw a little bit of E2 and fake it out, but Adron is still in a great spot to try and mow him down, and that's exactly what he does. And if you're not ready for another player onto the bomb side that quickly as Star Players, thanks to that aggressive play from Dima towards the back of the pillar, HYPERSPIRIT gets 6 rounds at the end of that first half on Overpass.
Do you know what? Honestly, fair play. That is a really decent recovery, considering how poor they were looking and how in trouble they were in terms of just some of these rounds were so one-sided by bond1e. Like that for me is a really nice recovery to show there's actually some decent amount of life in this side. But HYPERSPIRIT, you got to start it well in towards the T side, and we see a lot of teams struggle on the T side. That's where they really can't find their form properly. It's the benefit of bond1e. Both sides
AFK.
could struggle. Yeah, I think tech issue.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, yeah. Well,
buddy.
It was almost a tech issue.
Yeah, he was actually just AFK. He might have just gone to the toilet or something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's more of a toilet issue than a tech issue, but hey, it happens to the best.
When you gotta go, as they say.
Yeah. Or maybe it was one of these good old situations of good old scenarios of I've ordered something to eat and it just decides to come through. Delivery comes through straight away as we start the second half.
That would be very CS playery.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's happened a couple
here.
times. Yeah. For a second there, I thought you were saying that your delivery's here.
No. I wish.
What would you get to eat as of right now, right here, right now, if you could? Just imagine any food could teleport right in front of it. What are you going for?
No joke, I actually only ever order one thing if I ever order food. I don't order food that often, to be honest, but if I ever do order food, I only ever order one thing, which is sushi. That's like my #1 favorite food in the world. So that's the only thing I really ever order from like a takeaway.
Sure. All right.
Love me some sushi, man.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Sushi's nice. In general, I think it's a little bit difficult to find a good place to order sushi from, though, if you're not going to eat at a restaurant, right?
Not in London. You'd be surprised. In London,
yeah. You do live in. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Very popular here.
I just realized that you live at a place where you have all the takeaway in the world, no matter what it is.
Exactly. Got my a lot of choices here. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been traumatized by some of the things that I've seen in London. I've seen a possibility to order some black cod for like 40 quid.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's quite wild for a piece of white fish that costs like 30p or 2 pounds or something. Yeah.
I've kind of like got a rule of thumb. It's like I don't really trust sushi abroad. I trust it in London where I know it. But everywhere else, I'm not gonna risk this.
Okay. Well, every country that makes sushi with chicken is not to be trusted.
True.
Now that I say this, we do have sushi with chicken in Bulgaria, so make what you will of that. Second pistol round started. Quite a must if you're bond1e. We're talking about the momentum game, and this is how you started off. 1 bullet, 1 kill. Easy stuff, not easy anymore. Raul will get executed, punished for his previous crimes, so they say. And unfortunately, Predator couldn't really connect on that USP to make it a 1-for-1. So HYPERSPIRIT do get a refrag straight away. They do have a smoke and a flash to work with. Star players moving ever so closer in towards that A bomb site. You've got a very good spot out of Smuya. Now, for a pistol round, this is a tricky position because Glocks are just running and you need to be very precise. But not a lot of people genuinely clear that angle on a pistol, especially when you have Magilla jumping. They might overlook Smuya. Or no, or he just peeks and dies.
Where are those Glock bullets going? Oh my god, how does Magilla stay alive as long as he did there? That was pretty ugly, but it's Predator now on a 1 versus 2. HYPERSPIRIT should be getting the round here, and with that, the lead. Predator, the big issue is just the lack of kit as well.
Can I say it again? Lord Almighty.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a scrappy one. Predator will give this one a go. I'm afraid he's running out of time. He knows where both of them are, but there's no way in hell for them to let him defuse that bomb. And he's tapped it once. He's made a step, so now they know he's not sticking it. They still try and run him down, and Crocodile will eventually get that kill into the Glock. This one connects. Crocodile showing us the downside of that shaky aim. You know, is the very, I want to say, unique trait that some players have. Is that next level KRV thing, where your crosshair is just doing the Macarena every single time you get into a fight. Crocodile is that type of a player. It is fun. Really scrappy at times, but
I
find it unreliable. I don't like watching players like that because I know it might work for them, but for me, when I'm watching, I just feel like they're never gonna get the kill.
No, I agree.
There's never a guaranteed kill when you're aiming like this. When this is how you're shooting, there's never a guaranteed kill.
No, I agree. I actually do. Well, taking that first round is massive. Love the dive, and it's a big move, but the trades are really effective as Demon's going to get a double. That being said, pretty immediately brought things back into being quite favorable. The last man, Osmuya, seen off. Does get a conversation kill. That'll be about that. 2-round buffer zone for the T side of HYPERSPIRIT.
All right. Now, I think we can start being a little bit worried about bond1e's chances. This is the first buy round. If they lose here, as we said, quite realistically, this could be a 10-6, which is quite mental considering the lead that they had at the start. Not the best buy round possible, of course, as it is the first one, so not enough money to justify an AWP to drop over to Mr. Butterfield. We just had a conversation about that a couple days ago with Pavlos. Owen Butterfield does sound like the most British name in the world, doesn't it?
It's great. Yeah, it's so English.
Yeah, it is very English.
Owen Butterfield. Yeah, really English name.
I really like the surname. I like to just, you know, Butterfield. Just imagine a field made of butter.
And I don't know any other Butterfields, but...
Right. It's my second favorite surname in England after Drinkwater. The Chelsea player, Danny Drinkwater.
Danny Drinkwater. Now,
well, he was from Leicester first.
Yeah. Now he's a scaffolder. He works on building sites.
All right.
The more you know. Not because he needs the money, just he does it for the love of the game. He just enjoys the work.
Sure.
There we go. Ragger, Adron kills a piece for them to bring the numbers back in favor of HYPERSPIRIT. If they find this round 2, it's really problematic times. Because bond1e then runs broken, but it's at that point probably most likely a 10-6.
Okay,
and Predator's trying to bring them back into it, and he might just do exactly that. A huge 3-piece for him, all on the shoulders of star players, and with him being tagged so damn low, surely no chance in hell. He's seen off, and Predator has bailed them out here.
Just when you need a hero, just when you need someone to step up, it's not Magilla, it's not Smuya, it's Predator to get them back into the swing of things with that massive triple kill in towards the bathrooms area. And as we said, this first buy round of the second half, this was such an important one to pick up for bond1e. Look at that from Predator. Spacing is a little bit off, sure, for the CT or for the T side, but he's still able to get these kills very cleanly. And to be fair, it has been StreakN and Predator bringing in the majority of the impact now for the side of bond1e on this map. Yet to see the best out of Magilla and Smuya. If they wake up, then the T's could be in a whole lot of trouble.
Smuya, Rel, StreakN, all getting involved in this round.
It's
opening the floodgates. It's really starting to open those floodgates. Tight square. Brilliant stuff.
All right. HYPERSPIRIT have one tactical timeout left, and I feel like you eco here You can use this one as a bit of attack. Obviously, cannot really get the coach that involved, but then you might need another conversation going into the next buy round. Although you did get a 4v3 in the previous one, it was just the fact that you weren't able to deal with Predator, and now you just send it off towards the B-bomb side, but that wasn't really a proper investment. I mean, it was a proper investment, but not a great quality purchase.
Oh. Should be a throwaway round here. In round number 17, not expecting loads from a position like this. That'd be the case. Smooya for a couple. StreakN as well. Simple stuff. Easy work. Inexpensive as well. As long as you don't lose anyone, you have no real complaints at all.
Okay. There's the tactical timeout before the buy. It's now or never, HYPERSPIRIT. Now, it's all about perspective, isn't it, Neo?
Yeah.
You're looking at this map and you're saying HYPERSPIRIT are not that close to running away with it. It's going to be a difficult task on the T side of Overpass, especially now that you've lost 3 in a row. Now, the other perspective could be they're 5 rounds away from qualifying to a $50,000 LAN event in Barcelona. And all they need to do is pick up 5 rounds on the T side of Overpass. Now, that doesn't sound like much, if you put it that way. Obviously, it's a little bit more difficult than, you know, than what it sounds like, but it would be the right time to bring out your best on that T side. Let's see what the call is. Now, I don't suspect we're going to see another B pop or another B rush. So maybe something a little bit more measured, maybe something a bit more layered. Fastest work con. Oh.
D-map. Just open things up, so you're going to get caught. That being said, again, we're talking about a bit of runway. Magila should have found the trade, and the fact that he doesn't is brutal, but at least StreakN will get one.
How is Dima alive? He should have been dead in the first fight against me. He survives that, and he's able to find the second kill as well. I'm surprised they've not taken the space in towards A as well, right? They've spotted 2 players in towards short. They've just provided bond1e with plenty of time to get back.
Predator. He's bailed them out once before. He's gonna have to do it once again. The flash is good, Predator. He multi-killed earlier, and he's done it again here. And this round is all but done. Dima is 1 foot in the grave. It's Predator. Another 3-piece from him to see off the round. Without him, honestly, bond1e are in serious trouble.
Yeah, this is another buy round where they get an early advantage and they just cannot convert, right? There's the replay. Dima should have not been allowed to get a double kill. Atron's just walking in, gets killed. Predator with another triple. The first buy round they played, they had a 4v3. Now they have a 5 versus 3, and both times it's just a Predator triple kill that ends up costing them.
Yeah.
But HYPERSPIRIT, honestly, you could say they are rushing into things a little bit too much after they get these opening kills. You would feel like you've missed out on an opportunity if this ends up costing you the map.
No, I
Doesn't
agree.
look impossible right now.
Just a couple of mistakes that end up being quite costly. With that being said, getting really close to that finish line. Bit of a nothing round here. Again, in a sort of a Tech 9 buy, you can get yourself into a spot. A couple of kills in a bomb plant. You take the positives, but anything outside of that feels, for the most part, pretty unlikely.
Yeah. Smoke's coming in. There's the stairs smoke out of star players. Flashes go high. Smooya able to get the first one onto Adron. You're out of flashes, but Magilla is out of sprays. Thankfully, Smooya's there to get a triple so far on the big green, make it a 4-piece, and he does finally buy the dust, but StreakN is already rotated, and it's a big round coming out of the AWP. It's eco kills, but much needed ones, especially considering the fact that Magilla goes down without a singular piece.
That's it. Yeah. Well, 2 rounds away now for bond1e, and it just feels like at the moment I just can't seem to fathom a way back into this. It is do or die, really, for HYPERSPIRIT in towards this round. And they'll be kicking themselves. If they do let this kind of slip, they'll just be looking back at some of the ways in which this game sort of fallen apart for them, and how many chances they did have, but kind of squandered a little bit. But we do have a tech issue before we get underway into a very crucial round.
The bunny's still there.
Just chilling.
It's not moved. Yeah. We were kind of thinking what the bunny's name would be.
Yeah. Then again, I've got to like think of like what would be like. I can think of like what English people would call bunnies, maybe.
Yeah,
but
no,
like,
we googled some Lithuanian names for bunnies. Yeah, and we googled these yesterday, and they sound there was one that I really liked. Let me read it out to you. There's one that is. Give me a second. I'll find it. Oh yeah, Pucus.
Oh, okay. It's kind of
nice. It means fluffy.
Nice.
Also, it sounds like puke a little bit, so it's funny.
There we go. There we go. 1-for-1 trades in the early portion of this round. It's obviously massively important for HYPERSPIRIT. They need to find a way to trade positively, but they've got really quite good map control here.
I wonder if Crocodile's actually heard the step that Predator made when he was around map. If he has, then Demus should be aware of the possibility of a player being up close to him. And I think he is. Bomb's still in towards that B bomb side, though. There's a Molotov in towards the barrels. And this is not going to lead to a lot. Predator has now been able to get the kill onto Dima. Joker Dow has spotted 2 more towards the back of the bomb side, so now you need to go B. And you know it's the OP you're missing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pop shot. Missed. Nice move.
Lucky to be alive.
For sure. Bomb will go down, though, and that's something you can't deny. Ragger for one. StreakN. The bomb back in, but it's all on a drone.
God.
And he does nearly line them up, but it's not to be. And with that being said, another round goes the way of the CT side, and they're 1 away.
Yeah, it just feels like the stars cannot align for HYPERSPIRIT to get around here. A buy round on the T side. Yeah. They had a 4v3, they had a 5v3. Now a drone has that massive spray down. Nothing's going their way. A big play out of Smuya, and you can see how disappointed Star Players is. Another 4v4, and you just lose it on the back of a couple individuals being caught off guard. It does feel a little bit disjointed out of HYPERSPIRIT. Of course, not their strongest map ever, but this would be another big statement coming out of bond1e. If you're HYPERSPIRIT, you're quite happy that you were able to take that Anubis in the end of the day.
Yeah.
You could argue that Anubis was even more competitive than what we're seeing here.
Opens things up. Probably that the rights on the trade will be the case, but Smoothie is there to set up and deliver himself. Nice work.
Down they go.
On the shoulders of a drone. In a 1 versus 4, and there's absolutely no chance for him. He does get a kill. It should be nothing more than a consolation. A StreakN will see it off. Fantastic work coming through from bond1e as they push us now to a decider. And there was large portions of that second map where I actually didn't think that was going to be a possibility, but honestly, real credit to them. This bond1e side stepped it up in that second half again. Yeah,
they really did. And credit
kind of the depths a little bit. I guess who am I backing? It's probably just a bit more of that team, the side that I feel like have a bit more of depth in the strats and all the rest. But we'll see whether that actually ends up being the case or not. It's obviously a map that, as we touched on the pre-show, that this is a map in which is played a fair decent amount by HYPERSPIRIT. They've got some good reps under their belt. 16 times played compared to the 2 of bond1e. So let's see how things pan out. But we are live at CS2 start here for HYPERSPIRIT.
Yeah, looking like a bit of a B round initially. Some presence in towards A main. You're going to have the fake coming out. A CT smoke lined up by Raga. You've got the molly towards the back of Xbox, another decoy, but they're not really moving bond1e, are they? Well, now they've moved. They've left only one player, and it's StreakN on towards that B bomb side, but he's found a kill. Everyone is still here.
Wow.
Bomb drop.
Only a kill, a second behind it, right? And a third.
Oh, okay.
He's farming. And he might want a bit more. Predator's going to have a little look in himself. At range, it's StreakN, who gets his 4th.
Let him ace.
Give him the ace. Oh, it gets stolen away there by Smooya. But a fantastic round from StreakN. And what a start for bond1e.
All right, Tony Stark himself has joined into play. A little bit difficult to catch if there's a smirk or a smile on the face of Smooya on this angle. But look at that from StreakN. Bomb spotted. He gets the first, repeaks for a second, make it a third onto Dima as well. By that point in time, the round was basically over. And it's just the fact that they might have played this one a little bit too early in towards the round there. Players were still very much nearby, so the moment that StreakN spots the first guy and takes the kill, it was very easy for everybody else to come back. Failed red smoke, allowing the CTs to get mid-control. Thinking about going for the fight later on, but it will have to be without fantastic flashes. Just now, star players will line one up. Smooya needs to be careful. There is Dima in towards lane, still in towards the back of blue.
Oh.
Well, there was a Dima there. There isn't one anymore.
Good work by StreakN. He's so confident right now. So is Magila fighting in towards elbow, and he'll get 2 before he gets to reload off and tucks himself back in towards Donut. They can continue re-aggressing. The last man to start players will scoop up that C4, but only briefly. StreakN opens and closes the round. At the gates, bond1e are looking pretty fantastic.
Yeah. A lot of assertiveness. You're building up the money. You keep 5 alive in the anti-force and anti-eco coming up, so probably a 3-0. bond1e's not there anymore. By the way, we did get a little bit of feedback onto how it's supposed to be pronounced. The Pukus name that I told you about. Apparently it's Pukus. So it's kind of like there's a double O in there. So it's Pukus. Yeah. It's like you're saying Pookie.
Okay.
The more you know. Means fluffy. Yeah. Ooh.
Magila. In opening proceedings, Smooya, of course, loses his head, but Magila re-aggressed.
Okay.
He gets 1, and then a quick trade that comes through, but StreakN's there to keep the numbers in favor of the CT side.
Still expensive. Timing could be good for Dima. He's heard the reload though, and he thought that StreakN was walking back towards him, which now he will do. I don't think he walks inside though. He's just gonna give it a quick check and then focus a little bit more onto the lane side of things. Now, there's a very realistic timing for Dima to get that kill onto StreakN. He will eventually have to make a move though. I don't think StreakN's reading into Dima, just waiting for him on top of the box. There you
Dima
go.
Waits for his chance, and there we go.
Hold on.
It's going to still get really funky. Predator has a chance, and he needs to be careful. Bomb. Going to hightail it out of elbow. This has been heard as well, but Chicago is going to get far enough away that HYPERSPIRIT should be able to steal away this sort of round as long as Chicago doesn't waste too much time clearing these angles. You plant 4 long side, and this is a really difficult one for Predator. He doesn't have a kit to work with. 1 flash for him, that MP9. They're going to play together, but it's very easy that both of these just get mowed down. He has step now as well, so there's no point shifting. And they're waiting, they're moving around, they're trying to find out where he is, and Dima will deliver a beauty of a deagle shot. What a round to steal away for HYPERSPIRIT, sort of seemingly out of nowhere.
Remember what we were saying about the mean deeg that Dima has. I mean, we're not talking about the killing towards Cave, right? Because StreakN was not moving at all, but in general, Very dangerous on the desert. Eagles HYPERSPIRIT. Look at that from Crocodile in towards middle. He was the one that opened it up with the first one. Then the refrag onto Magilla as well. A lot of solo fights going on. That follow-up onto Rel. The two of them just going absolutely crazy. Thankfully for bond1e, they did keep all 5 alive in the previous round, so they do have enough money to go for a reinvestment, even though it's a little bit lackluster in the util department.
That's very true.
It's not looking too bad, but it's not a fun round to lose.
No, not at all. Star players. Feels like he'll be this first contact. And he will. He'll lose his life. StreakN can only get one. Adron and Dima combined well to get the numbers advantage over towards the T side, but fair, decent damage has been taken by HYPERSPIRIT here.
Ro's got a smoke, so he can delay for a little bit. Predator is already on the way, but Ro will need to deploy that piece of util very, very soon. Try and hold on for a little while. That's good timing on the smoke. Not sure if HYPERSPIRIT really want to challenge and go through this. They've got a native. They really want to break it, but there's another smoke in towards the cave. This is a little bit weird for the T's. You know there's 2 people here. Going back to Magilla.
Yeah, Magilla has a chance to completely see this round off, but Chicago does his due diligence, checks in towards back though, and with that being said, now the round swings back again. Predator needed a multi-kill round, and he had a few of them in that previous map, but not here. And Rel can't either. Got a round to steal away for HYPERSPIRIT again, where there was chances of that very swiftly slipping away. It isn't the case, and therefore a tied game, 2 apiece.
Yeah, this game is a straight up deathmatch server right now. It just comes down to who's going to come out on top in some aim fights. That's what it was for this round. That's what it has been for the last couple. Just a double walk into or escape from bond1e. They get a 2v3. Who's going to get the kills? Well, HYPERSPIRIT did. And they end up winning the round. Same case with Magilla being in towards the backup donut. Oh. I mean, you're probably not winning the round even if you get that kill. It's just a bit frustrating that you couldn't kill him. At least StreakN does.
True. Fever. Make his move out, and he'll be sent forward to John to get the kill in towards long.
Come on, Predator.
Yeah. No real chance here.
I love the fact that he's got the red jersey, well, reddish jersey, with a similar color gloves, and the fact that he's ginger as well. There's a lot of red things about him.
Yeah.
It all kind of goes together in a package.
Yeah, very true.
Very stylish. The only thing he's missing out on is a red Deagle. If he had a red Deagle, that would have been...
Yeah.
It would have been such a satisfying combination.
He'll fall, in fact, to the C4. Pretty good spot the HYPERSPIRIT are in at the moment. It's pretty easy one as well. And then expensive for HYPERSPIRIT. We're back in towards the buy for the CT side. And falls across the board. Decent utility.
Let's try to pay rush. Picking up the pace there, HYPERSPIRIT. bond1e have 3 players here. Magilla and Smooth find the first 2. Refrags coming through though. And Predator can't really do too much about it. Isolated behind the donut util, trying to find an edge on that Molotov and smoke tap of the bomb, waiting for the fight. There's a team kill in the mix, and somehow with 3 HP to spare is StreakN to get that last one. Holy mother of chaos.
Back and forth, but the big thing is they go for a bit more of a punchy round that comes through, and if anything that works against them, that's actually where bond1e are going to feel a little bit more at ease. These slightly puggier rounds are going to be a little bit more in the wheelhouse for this side. So I'll take it. AK, M4, and some MP9s alongside.
Ooh, Dima will be able to get that kill on Predator, and Magilla goes down as well. This is it's looking very worrying now for bond1e. It just feels like at all times they're just getting run down individually, unless Muya can pull off a clutch, but unfortunately he was left all alone. So regardless of whether he gets a third kill or not, round 2 goes in favor of HYPERSPIRIT. This has quickly become a very concerning game here for bond1e. The previous one they pick up with 1 alive, but that doesn't really fix and I guess change your financial situation and fix the problems. And now you lose this one in a very convincing fashion. True. So again, you're out of cash. It's been tough.
It has, and I do think slowly but surely like this pressure is starting to build a little bit now for bond1e. That being said, Magilla up close, 5-7. Connect 2 here, Will.
Oh my god.
Magila's gone huge, and he scooped up the AWP as well. Might single-handedly have won this round. Swing in, and a loss. Magilla is a man possessed. 1-5-7 has given them a chance, and it's all now on the shoulders of Jakarta.
Well, that one came out of nowhere, didn't it? Magilla with a 5-7 upgrading onto an AK, upgrading onto an AWP, and now Chokardao attempting a 1v5 clutch. That would be the only thing to beat it. He spotted the player in towards Brokey. I'm not sure if he realized it. Well, now he does. Chokardao has found one more. Imagine a world in which it comes down to a 1v1 between him and Magilla, but the op is posted on the angle. Magilla, does he flick upwards quickly? Enough answers no. He won't do it. Oh my god! From a 4-piece out of a 5-7 to a 1v5 clutch out of Chokardao. Have you ever seen anything like it?
That is genuinely one of the most mental rounds I have ever seen. 4K to open things up. Magilla does so unbelievably well. And then an ace recovery. That is bonkers. So rarely do we get to see rounds like that. But, oh my god, what a performance. And you see head and hands for Magilla, like, super understandably. Like, I would also be very tilted to have let things slip like that. Man alive, that is ridiculous.
God. This is probably the single most frustrating thing that could happen to a player in this game. You get a 4K like this, you're feeling like you're feeling untouchable, and then you lose a 5v1. I'm saying this again, this is not a drill. A 1 versus 5 ace clutch out of Chokardao, and he keeps it going with 2 more kills. This is 7 frags in a row. Raga shuts down Magilla. And if you're talking about the mental warfare, the mental game, well, HYPERSPIRIT have definitely won that one now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard not to be uber tilted by something like that.
God. How often do you see a 1v5?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Well, a 6th on the board, and this is a T-side that's looking pretty good at the moment. This off, and that'll be that. So The bond1e. I would be calling a bit of a timeout here. You can see a bit of a tilt. Creeping in there. Understandably. For Smooya, but Money's in a tough spot for them where they're kind of constantly in this sort of like on the precipice of being broken. So the half buy here around that 1M4.
You just need something. You need a round to bring some life into the team speak, into the comms, but it's not really coming, is it? Rocket boosted, Shadow spotted, just waiting for yet another jiggle, and he did see that initial one out of Smooya as well and towards long, so they should be ready for him. StreakN finally does get something in return. But it's yet another confirmation on the whereabouts of two of these players, so it should be quite easy to pivot your way around them from here on out. Avoid that M4 of StreakN at all costs, already making their way in towards that A-bomb side with the bomb on their back. Preledon is alone. The CTs have not started making a move yet, so it doesn't really feel like they would be able to provide any support to Preledon in time. Now they're moving back, slowly but surely. Thing is, red has been open for quite a while, so they can't even run full W. So Preledon might actually be in a 1 versus 4 here.
Okay, well, can't quite deliver. Smooya gets one before a quick trade by the AWP. M4 deny, but the trade is immediate. So, yes, sure, the bomb doesn't go down, but the round all the same goes the way of HYPERSPIRIT, who now guarantee a lead. And we'll get into a dangerous predicament now. In the spot that we're at, time is kind of running out for me to feel confident about bond1e. I need like at least 4 in this first half. The 5 would be nice, but even that feels like a bit of a stretch.
I mean, they're a little bit down mentally. You can clearly tell by some of the player reactions, by some of the plays, the way that they're losing opening fights to begin with. They just need something. Double up setup in order to try and switch things up, bring a little bit of new life to the equation. StreakN has had a good performance in towards that B-bomb side, cave / the bomb side itself, but it's not really been enough. Red on 1 kill, Preledon on 3 kills, Smooya on 5 and 8 as well. Magilla had that one massive round, but outside of that, has not really been able to amend to too much. But this could be what they need. Big Owen on the big green.
Could be the difference maker. Well, Magilla's going to be the first to fall. That's definitely not going to help things. They're making their way forward. Smooya, this is a chance for him. Realistically, getting both is going to be quite difficult here. But if he can, it'll give them a lifeline. There's the first. Smooya finds it, and he falls away. But he can't keep Rel alive. He's caught in no man's land, so StreakN. Uh-oh. Now things are getting dicey. Smooya only good for another off the back of it. 1 versus 2 for Preledon.
You know where both of them are. One of them is low on HP as well, and that's been confirmed. The 1v2 clutch, that's a must-win, but he doesn't have a defuse kit. And he's not ready for the off angle as well. Very dire.
Oh, for sure. Time is seriously running out. Like I said, I would like 4 rounds just to feel like I have a bit of belief here, but
they're just a bit checked out. The Smooya kills one in towards cave. He goes back. It's poor communication as well because the long player doesn't realize that he should be turning around, and we don't know if it's poor communication on the side of Smooya or just a slow moment of realization on the other hand. But you get the 1 kill, you fall back. It's that type of an angle that you know there could be someone walking close left, so there could be a fast swing in order to try and get the refrag. Rel should be turning around towards the cave the moment that Smooya jumps away, and he doesn't. These are the small things that make you feel like bond1e are not really on the same page right now, and things are tough.
yeah, agreed. Found a round. Is there anything left in this Bondi side who, you know, initially looked okay? Sweet, we'll find one. It's Ragged the first to fall. And completely untraded as well. Is absolutely going to help proceedings. Shot spotted. Star players, he knows about it, but he's got to win up both fights for there to be a real chance to recover this round properly. He only goes 1-1. I mean, look at the time here. 15 seconds left, but John and Dima have found kills apiece. They've got to get this bomb on towards the site. Time is ticking. We have got to wrap back around, and they're coming in behind it. Dima can't find the kill. Magila going to go for 5 seconds. They've got to find the fights. Magila closes it, so a slight recovery by Bondi at that tail end, but still a lot to be done to convince us.
A sip of hope towards the end of that first half puts an end to the misery. After a 3-0 start, they concede 8 in a row, and they finally pick up the last one. And it really seemed like there was an opportunity, a good sequence coming out of Magilla towards the end to close it out. A big triple kill this time, enough to secure the round. Sorry, that was uncalled for. Yeah, pouring salt into the wound. Well, D-side pistol a necessity. This is what we can say. Or HYPERSPIRIT will be on the right track to qualify for Barcelona, and they might do it in a very clean fashion. Raga, the first one to be tested, will get the kill, but he's all star players. Okay. Or Raga. Never mind.
Well, Magila holding for the cross. Needs to get a couple of quick ones as well. As Smuya waits for the swing. He nails a shot, looking for a 3-piece. Won't be the case. Magila is so unbelievably low. They're drawn. He's entered by just full stick in this as well. Is Magila going to consider this a possibility? Time is ticking. Oh my god, he just about gets him. That is way too close for comfort.
That was very close on the defuse. Magilla couldn't get him instantly with the first couple of shots. There was a world in which Adron just gets the defuse. It's just the lack of a defuse kit or a smoke that ends up costing him. A must-win pistol round for Magilla and Bandito, and he pulls it off in the 1v1. Again, a little bit tricky the moment that Raga gets that second kill on the Julies. It's one of these moments where you just feel like you could go all the way and get a 3-piece or a 4-piece. Yeah. Just by judging how cleanly he got the first 2. That nade didn't work. He wanted to throw the nade that goes off in front of the stairs in Red Room. Yeah. Not the right lineup, but it happens. Hey, the CTs were not running at them, so it doesn't change anything. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, that being said, at an 8-5 scoreline, you got a spot where it feels like a chance for on this side. John goes for a little bit of a look. He'll take a bit of damage, but he drops the smoke immediately, and he wants nothing to do with that.
Yeah, kind of needs to, considering he's all alone and towards that side of the map, but he needs his teammates to be a bit more proactive on B as well. Unless the call here is, let's just hope they come B, and if they go away, we save all 5, and then we replay the round. It might be the shout here, I guess, unless the drone finds 1 or 2 kills. Rotations will try to arrive on time, but he's playing this one very passively. Yeah, that's a save. They're not even coming.
Yeah. Oh.
That
John.
could have been a reason. If he gets both these kills and denies the bomb from going down, yeah, they would have sprinted.
Definitely a chance behind that for sure. But in the end, not to be. So, save, keep hold of what you've got. And reuse it into the next. And a pretty interesting predicament that we're in at the moment. Like, this is now where start to have, I don't know, some level of belief. Like, I feel like this is a bond1e side. They're on their more comfortable side of the tee. They can, at least for me, really start to prove what they're all about and just how deep the kind of the bag goes for them. 2-round game, but it is a reuse of this buy into the next. So we'll have to see. It's a close game. But again, bond1e, it's a nice starting towards this half, so no complaints.
Yeah, they're making us believe once again. It's just the fact that they absolutely crumbled midway through the first half. But now it feels like they're picking up their mental right back where it was at the start. Yeah. It's just that this 1 4-piece round that Magilla gets and the 1v5 clutch from Jokerdao is a very frustrating one to concede. Very difficult to get back from. It's a nice creative way to get the kill into Magilla. Boo's behind the donut smoke, but they've already lost control of the B bomb side of CTs, and the bomb will just join in with the rest of them. That will get planted. HYPERSPIRIT at this point, they do have a buy going into the next side away, so might as well give this one a go.
Bomb down. Yeah, gonna look, see if we can get the nades. Oh, great. StreakN. Nice find from him, and really get one with the Molotov. Brilliant work. There are many too. Carlos not going to give this one a look in at all. But a Dron, you may as well see if you can get anything in this tail end.
Yeah, we've got... so one fun thing that I like doing here, Neo, is taking a look at the chat every now and then and having interactions with the chat, you know. We've got Neki from Astro, who's supposed to be playing in the next game against Unity, in the chat supporting bond1e.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe some friends that pugs with or whatnot.
I mean, he is Estonian, so they're from the Baltics region. So I presume that's the region. That's the reason. You know, Baltics Counter-Strike.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, we actually made a deal with Neki. He said Astro would win the entire thing. He not only qualified to the LAN, but win the LAN, and then I'd be obliged to say that he's a massive talent.
Yeah, sure.
That's the deal we made. Shook hands on it.
I like that. I like that. Well,
how was Magilla getting here?
Yeah, this is actually pretty insane.
Yeah, this is mental. At this point, you just go B. You let this guy go. Tell the bomb, okay, I'm not the biggest fan now. Where do you go from here? Because there's 2 people on the bomb side. And Smuya's dead. Rails picked up another one. Magilla will die as well. The bomb is still in A main and wondering where to go. Raga might catch a bit of a timing onto StreakN, especially if he's not silently dropping. He did. But they don't really know there's a second player on A yet. Jokerdao might get the kill with StreakN. Big kill.
Okay. Yeah, that's huge. That being said, going towards CT Molly for the temple swing. Damage dealt, and that might just call it off as well. Dima gonna fall away from this.
God. That was so scrappy. That was so close. The moment that Magilla gets into that spot, into our CT spawn, they should be winning the round 100%, right? The fact that HYPERSPIRIT are still able to make it seem possible is terrifying. It all comes down to the 1v1 in towards donut, basically. If Jokerdao is able to get that kill, then it's a completely different round on the board. But we're going to be leveled up nonetheless. 8 apiece. bond1e have done it again. They've come back into this one. They've taken advantage of a very good start to a half.
Yeah.
And unless there's any 1v5 shenanigans coming in from HYPERSPIRIT, bond1e might be able to keep it going for a little bit longer this time.
I think in the kind of this position that we're in now, HYPERSPIRIT, I'd be rapidly starting to burn through a lot of these timeouts, right? I mean, I just feel like for them, I just want a lot more in terms of conversation, slowing it down. Don't allow this bond1e side to run away with momentum, which is sort of seemingly how it feels at the moment. Molotov will force them back. Double stacking towards cave. Again, no loads on offer in the early round. bond1e are waiting to see what the reaction's like from HYPERSPIRIT. I want to sort of draw them in towards their crosses, and SMEA's waiting for exactly this. Up train top box, waiting for a river look from long. He might get it in a second. They can't capitalize. StreakN can. SMEA, second time of asking, will deliver. bond1e are on track for a lead here on their star players. Can live up to that name.
They're going back? Really? I mean, Adron's gonna hear all the stats. He's got in a very good position. Do they overlook him? No one's checking. No one's looking. Adron, backturn, double kill might be enough to make the round competitive again. Smoking towards CT. There's a quick player coming in towards Donut as well. Raga might be looking to actually walk through this with the... Oh, he's a madman. They're blocking each other. Did Magilla realize it? Magilla's got no clue. What? No. They just bumped into each other, and Raga knows. He's able to get the first one. He's anticipating Magilla to be inside of the smoke. Tap on the bomb. Magilla's not swinging straight away. This might be the most important round so far. Magilla's not taking the bait. Now they'll stick it. Diffuse kit as well on that player on the bomb. And Magilla's not even going to get a fight in time. Gets the first one, not the second. Raga drops him. HYPERSPIRIT with 9 on the board.
Yikes. Well, that's a very awkward one to steal away, and gonna put you in a nice spot as well to keep the pressure on. And it comes off the back of Raga. You know, it just does so well. But even here, like, it's this understanding of, you know, pushing through the smoke. I understand what's kind of going on around me. 8 to 9. One round lead taken back by HYPERSPIRIT as we enter into a pause. Now, just a pause of a technical nature, which is unfortunate. So hopefully nothing crazy. Also, the bunny's gone as well.
I mean, the bunny does whatever the bunny wants, right?
That's it.
It just walks around, comes in, goes away. Kind of like Katy Perry's song, you know? It's hot and cold. It's yes, then no. In and out. Up and down. That's a blast from the past. I just remember the entire song. I didn't know I knew the lyrics by heart. I don't know why I do. It's a banging song though.
Yeah, I can't say I'd be able to off the dome.
See, you know what's the thing? I did grow up with two older sisters that were big fans of MTV.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
So I was a little bit forced to listen to all of that music when I was growing up.
That'll really help.
What is your favorite OG song? Like, well, I say OG. Song before 2010.
I've got one off the top of my head. Let me see. When did it come out? When did it come out? 2008. Perfect. Honestly, I genuinely think it might be the greatest song of all time. Is Sweet Disposition by the Temper Trap.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
Sweet Disposition.
Peak. That is peak music right there. And it came out 2008.
It is a very much classic banger.
Yeah.
Sweet Disposition.
Just reminds
Never
me of
Too
FIFA.
Soon. Oh yeah. Yeah, right.
What was it? It was on PES 2011. There you go.
Yeah. Also, there's a bit of a techno vibe to it as well.
Yeah.
With the beat.
It's like very, like, kind of like, yeah, indie pop kind of vibe. Which
yeah.
I like a bit of indie music.
Sure.
We're back underway, though.
Yeah, we are. One round the difference. In case you're just joining in, this is the third and final map of our first qualification game for the Lorgar Rankings LAN event in Barcelona. This is going to take place later on this month.
Yeah.
We're talking about a $50,000 prize pool, and one of these teams will make their way into Spain to be playing there. Smooya leg shot onto Adron. He was ready for it. Doesn't get the kill, a bit unfortunate. They will try and run him down through the smoke. Raga needs a big play. There goes one. There goes a second. Looking for a third, caught with a nade.
Bomb will go down. Yeah, for those who are maybe just joining us, it's a best of one brawl, essentially, to see who is going to land. At the moment, looks like this is on track to being tied up once again. Preledon holding for the swing out from Temple, for now not being given anything. Re-smoke front donut. Util towards main. StreakN up close. And now the first. Looking for a second, which he gets. The third is on the cards here, and StreakN. A stellar round from him. 9 apiece for tied square.
There goes Tony Stark. And look at the money on the side of HYPERSPIRIT. Look at the state of him. They win one round, they lose this one, and they're back into the financial doldrums once again. Raga doing so much work. It's just the flash that he pulls off. Not ready for the main player. And StreakN going huge with the multi-kill win towards that post plant. Look at the buy. Triple 5.7, MP9, M4, that's all the money you've got. It's a bit dire, but at least you get an opening kill. And a 2-4-1 in towards middle.
Wow. I'll play it. This 5-7. Oh, StreakN again looking for multi, but he's cut short a little bit.
It's a 1v1.
Yeah, Rel. He's got to play this bomb. That's the issue, and he gets clotheslined by a drone. Beautiful stuff. My, oh my. Double digits. First side to take it is the CT side of HYPERSPIRIT.
People are just running into each other. The moment that it goes down to a 1v1 like this, everyone's just going on full W. Everyone's looking for the fight. It's such a high-tempo game. It's been a difficult map for Rel. He tried to bring in the confidence into that 1v1. Couldn't get it over the line. 4 kills only, 6 for Preledon. The two of them had some very impactful moments earlier on in the game, especially Preledon on that second map.
Yeah, agreed.
Unable to get it going here on Ancient, though. Oh,
Slide taking the molly. It's okay, though.
Yeah, he's giving away his position.
Okay. Raga. Smooya kills a piece, but with that being said, Raga has a chance to shut them down if they want to continue pushing forward up ramp, but he'll realize they've cancelled on it. They're walking straight back to Jakarta. As this smoke fades, his position becomes very difficult to deal with. Pistol pulled out, though. He's run out of ammo.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, Smooya looks like he might be the first to hit the fight, but it's also star players who's here. But do they realize it's a different guy? They jump across the bait and switch. This is chaos. With 50 seconds and 1 versus 3 for Smooya, he's got no chance in hell. Down he goes. And that might have just cost Bondi the map and the series. They've run out of money.
It might have done it. Yeah, they've got nothing. You've got such a difficult decision to make right now. Do you go for a force or you eco? You let them get a 9-12 and then you get a buy. Yeah, you need a tactical timeout. Don't get fooled by the fact that Preledon has brought a Tech 9 in armor. They could change their minds, but it's not going to be easy to make a call here. It's a tough spot to be in. And who's making that call? Who's making the decision? Do we go for the eco round? Do we get only maybe a flash or something?
Yeah.
Or do we go all in? We go for the eco. They're getting a 12th on the board for free. And then we need 3 in a row just to force overtime. Or do we risk it for the biscuit? Do we go for the Hail Mary play with a full-on force with 2k per person? That's what it seems. The decision will be. They're going for it all. You win this one. It's such a massive pivotal point of the game, but if you lose it, this is basically game over.
Yeah, spot on. There you go. Star player, up close. First fan is McGee there, but also that bomb. They're running low on ammo, though. This is going to be pulled out. Paladin's trying to trade for one, but Jakarta's there to shut it down just when it feels like there was some sort of chance. It isn't. 12-9. And with that being said, now, map and series point going the way of HYPERSPIRIT. They are 1 away from qualifying to the LAN.
And this would be such a big result for the organization in general.
Sure.
Such a massive moment for their year in 2026. That's an organization that's played 8 LAN events in total in its history.
Wow.
5 of them Draculans, 1 Roman Imperium Cup, another Jaxi League Showdown, and another BC Game Masters Championship Season 1. This would be the biggest LAN event they've attended outside of Romania. And they're 1 round away from it. 2 Tech 9s, 2 Galeos, and a Mac 10 standing between them and Barcelona.
Yeah, that would be huge. You can see the pressure in a round like this. The waiting game. Orb posted under a minute. You work with a smoke to come down just the right hand side of a drone.
Oh,
first attempt, Ragnar miss. Second time of asking, he'll get it with a drone as well. He can't find the flick behind it, but a drone might be doing God's work, and he's got the support of Dima. It's all on the shoulders of Smooya. 1 man and a 1 versus 4 to bail out Bondi. Break on the smoke, won't net anything. There's an AWP at his feet, which he will opt to use, but I think we know, and probably he knows as well, that this one is all but gone. 17 seconds, 4 kills required, and sure, bomb on his back. It's not going to make a difference. This round's done. HYPERSPIRIT have booked themselves a spot to LAN. A fantastic series from them as they take it all 3. Brilliant work coming through from this side. And, you know, that third map is what it's all about. It's sort of how we predicted it. We said the Overpass felt like a nice little luxury coming through for Bondi, but the other 2 maps in this pool are strengths for HYPERSPIRIT, and they proved it. Fantastic third map from them.
Yeah, very